Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So let's talk about Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 5. Tonight's episode was another great episode, which I guess isn't that surprising anymore. I've kind of gotten used to the idea that Fear the Walking Dead is just going to be awesome now. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of the thing now. Like going into this episode, I just had so much faith that I was going to enjoy it. It took 4 episodes, or I guess this was the 5th one, but I guess it took 4 episodes to start feeling that way because I'm very confident in where this season is going right now. I'm very confident in the writing right now, at least for this season. Obviously, things could take a drastic turn. I don't know where they're going to go, but it's just what they're doing right now seems to be working very well. And I do think it's because of the anthology type of storytelling. I think it's because we're just, like, I haven't seen Alicia at all this season. We haven't seen her, like, at all. And it's actually been, maybe that's what we needed to just disconnect from Fear the Walking Dead a little bit more. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying Alicia is bad for the show. I'm not saying that at all. Obviously, when she, like, episode 2 was a great episode and she was in that episode. I'm just saying that because we don't get to see all the characters or every character all the time, it's like we just get more time with the characters that we're spending time with. And I like Morgan's new look. It's just so refreshing for the show. Dwight, Sherry, Althea. I love all of that. And yeah, honestly, I don't think we need to see all of them all the time. And I'm happy with the way they're telling the story right now. And I hope this continues for the remainder of the series, to be honest. So before we go any further, I do have to warn you for spoilers, obviously, for tonight's episode of Fear the Walking Dead Season 6. And if you are new here and you want more Fear the Walking Dead or Walking Dead World Beyond content, just make sure to be a subscriber. I will be posting my World Beyond review tonight after the episode is over. And I will also be posting a video after that because of something else exciting that happens in tonight's episode of Walking to the World Beyond. It's another post-credit scene, and yeah, I talk about that more in depth then, so just stay tuned for that. There are more implications now for the Rick Grimes movies, and it seems like World Beyond is actually starting to pick up a little bit. And it's because of things that do happen in tonight's episode that I think starting from this episode on, I think we're going to really go far in the story pretty fast. So anyways, let's talk about Fear. The intro obviously was pretty amazing. We had the whole Dwight horror thing, and I like the music when he like backs up there, when he notices the face or the masked figure or whatever. He gets scared and he like backs up or whatever. And the music's like, it's very classic horror feeling. And yeah, I thought that was really cool. And then they're already in the room. And then they take Dwight. There's just that whole scene there was really awesome. And then he meets them, and there's a lot more of them. I thought there was just like 3 or 4 or something like that, but there is a lot more. This is actually a pretty decent sized group. I never caught the actual name of the group. All I caught was that I think they're just called Virginia's Outcast. Like, there's no name for them. So I'm just going to call them Virginia's Outcast because it's kind of, they're the people that Virginia didn't want. She thought that they just weren't valuable at all. And so she just didn't want them. And so they're Virginia's outcast, right? So that was cool. That whole scene there with Dwight, that was really awesome. It set the tone for the whole episode. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is about it, but watching this whole scene, it was actually a lot of fun. There is just so much things that are happening now. Whereas when you look back in season 4 and 5, I think that's what it is. If you look back at those 2 seasons, there's not a lot that happens in the episode. Like if they go to a new area or a new room or something, there's no one there. And even if they talk to someone, it's just the tone is so boring. But now there is constantly new things happening. And it seems like it's just a different show. Everything feels different, even with like Morgan's community that he's creating. Like Jesus, like Morgan's actually creating a community right now. He's starting his own Alexandria, right? Maybe that's why he never returned. He's going to create this place. So I really think that's all it is. I think it's come down to what they're doing with the writing and the story, and just things matter and make sense. Everything just works. It's exciting and fun to watch. And that's the most important thing when you're writing a show is it doesn't matter if the story makes sense, if you're trying to do, like, obviously the story has to make sense. I'm not saying that, but you don't have to be so depressing like that all the time. You got to make it more fun to watch and appealing to watch. And that's just kind of what they've been doing. So that's why I think everything's working really well right now. The chase scene, I really enjoyed. I did. All of the build up to the M-Rap. Sorry, I know I was calling it M-Rat in my other video. It's an M-Rap. I don't know why I was calling it that. I guess I thought there was a T. And I wrote it down in my notes as that. I knew what it was, but I was just reading it off my notes. Anyways, I liked the chase scene. And I was thinking about it. First of all, I guess I should say that, yeah, all the build to it when they're riding on the horses going up to it, and their whole plan to take out that antenna and blah, 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 all that. Dwight jumping on the vehicle and then getting inside and then taking out that guy. All of that there is more action than you will ever see on The Walking Dead. We don't get scenes like that. We never do on The Walking Dead. And you can kind of see why a little bit. You know, like the background effects there definitely needed some work. I think that's why they did some fast cuts there so you wouldn't notice it too much, but you do notice it. Like, you could tell that they filmed that in like a studio or something like that. It wasn't, you know, the background looks so fake and you can tell, like, you can see it there. And, you know, I think that needed more work for sure. But still, this is more action than you will ever see on The Walking Dead. Like, you don't really get scenes like that on the show where, you know, Dwight did all of that. And that was just so cool. It was like a heist mission. They took Althea's vehicle back. They actually achieved that. That wasn't even the whole part of I mean, that was the main focus of the episode, but a lot of what happens after, like, that's what I mean by there's a lot of things happening in each episode. Like, I feel like older episodes of Fear the Walking Dead, the whole episode would just be this build up until the end to steal the MRAP. Like, that's what the whole episode would focus on. Whereas this, it did that, but you're also dealing with like Sherry's new group and you're getting introduced to that. You're doing some more character stuff. And then afterwards, you meet Morgan. You're going back to this community. There's a lot of added things in there. So there's so much happening within an episode. It's not so boring where you're listening for 40 minutes of people just talking about their feelings. And then at the end, something happens and you're like, I don't care. I've been bored this whole time, right? Things have been just really exciting lately. But then when Dwight did steal the MRAP and he successfully completed the heist mission, that the ranger, I guess, the guy saw his face. And so, yeah, thankfully Morgan was there because he found what he lost. And yeah, that was Dwight and Morgan's reunion. They haven't seen each other since the finale of season 5. Yeah, Dwight thought Morgan was dead. I guess everyone just thought Morgan was dead. And I keep forgetting about that. I keep forgetting that everyone thought that Morgan died because, yeah, Virginia shot him and that was just that. And I think even Virginia thought that Morgan died. And Virginia's not telling anyone anything about Morgan right now. So Morgan is like this bounty hunter. He's like this shadow kind of around everyone. And Virginia wants to find him. And no one knows where he is, but people are hiding his whereabouts, people who know anyways. And yeah, it's kind of cool. And so they go to interrogate this guy or the ranger, and you can kind of see a lot of Dwight's savior self or savior side coming out. And it's something we haven't seen in a while. Like the music was playing and all of that. It just gave me vibes of when Dwight was doing that to Daryl and stuff, however many years ago, right? And during the savior arc. And a lot of that came out. Sherry was there. And even Morgan noticed it right away. And so that was kind of cool. I like that they touched on that because it's like Dwight is starting to go back to those old habits because he's around Sherry. And I don't think Sherry's changed. We didn't really see a lot of it in this episode, but I think we're going to see that in we kind of saw a little bit, but I do think we're going to see a lot more in future episodes. And I think that's where Dwight's going to have to question, do I really want to be with her because I'm a different person now? The dog thing on top of it was just terrifying, and I felt so bad for that guy, even though I don't like him, but I was worried that they were going to go through with it, and I think it would have been kind of cool if they did. It would have been pretty vicious, but I think that would have pushed Dwight over the edge, for sure. I definitely think it would have. Yeah, and then we just get back to the point where Morgan is creating a fucking community. It's just, I just can't believe he's actually doing that. I can't believe that this is where he's going right now. And I like what Dwight said to Morgan. Like, why do you think this is going to be different? We've heard this before. We've all been to communities and they've all said the same thing. No, this time's going to be different. And Morgan just has this belief that no, it's going to be different because I'm different. And he just has this belief that, you know, he wants to find Grace, bring her to this place. And he has that belief that everything is going to be okay. That confidence, I think, is pretty amazing. And maybe he's right. Maybe this place could be very different. And I really do hope that I guess they do that with the show. They actually build this community, because that would be a cool thing for season 7, right? Is they're just in this community now. And they're kind of at a point where I guess we were with The Walking Dead in season 5 and 6, right? Although they already had the community built for them. Morgan's building from scratch. So I thought that was really amazing. Like, they have a lot more people going there. Morgan is just starting all of this. It's pretty crazy. So overall, I thought tonight's episode was just absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed it. There's nothing bad I can say about the episode. I guess I can say the background effect during the Dwight scene where he jumped on the vehicle, that, like, the CGI or whatever that would be called, visual effects there we're definitely a little off. I think that should have had a lot more work done there, but that does happen a lot. And like just the show's always been like that. That's why on The Walking Dead that you would have CGI deer that look just terrible and stuff like that. So it's just kind of one of those things where I guess that that's all they could do. They couldn't really do a lot more. I'm sure like there obviously is the ability to do more, but I guess they just didn't want to put all the resources into that to do it. So whatever, it still works. They got the point done. It was a very quick scene. Not a lot of people are going to notice. A lot of television looks like that. Overall, the writing, everything with the characters, everyone's reunited. We are building to something with this season. And I'm excited to see episode 6 now. And we only have 2 more episodes left. And I'll talk about that in a video this week. But yeah, we have a new update on what's going to happen for The Walking Dead, or Fear the Walking Dead, and then The Walking Dead World Beyond. But I also want to do an update because I do think in 2 weeks tonight, we're going to get our first look at The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 17. I don't know for sure. It is just my guess. I'm just speculating. But I have a feeling that something is going to happen on that day. Because like we're waiting on those 6 new episodes. I think it makes sense to announce something then. So yeah, overall, I thought tonight's episode was great. Post all your thoughts down below. Let me know what you guys all have to say about tonight's episode, and I'll see you guys in my review for The Walking Dead World Beyond.